Hey Cobra Kai fans, welcome back. Part 2 of Season 6 ended on a massive cliffhanger, and the tournament did not conclude as planned, in addition to a terrible incident involving Kwon's death. All of these unexpected events of Part 2 have changed our expectations for Part 3. Part 2 demonstrated that by the end of Cobra Kai Season 6, anything, no matter how crazy it may sound, could happen. That being said, we might see another death in Part 3, keep that in mind. In fact, I just saw a tweet from actor Louis Tan, who plays Sensei Wolf, stating that the finale is going to be insane. Then a fan inquired as to how insane it could be, given that we thought Part 2 was the most insane, to which Tan responded that Part 3 will be way more insane than Part 2. So you understand what I mean. If you did not already know, Part 3 of Cobra Kai Season 6 will premiere on February 13th, 2025. But now let us discuss some leaks from Part 3, as well as some interesting theories. The show has proven to be both predictable and unpredictable, and anything can happen, even the craziest scenarios. With the tournament brawl that resulted in Kwon's death, one might assume the Sekai Taikai wouldn't continue in Part 3. However, leaks suggest otherwise. The remaining semi-final and final matches will be rescheduled and relocated to the All Valley. I speculated about this scenario of Sekai Taikai happening in the All Valley in previous videos, but now it's starting to make more sense. In Inside the Dojo Episode 2, we saw a sneak peek of Robbie and Axel's semi-final rematch. From the background, it's clear that the tournament venue is the All Valley Sports Arena. 4 banners representing the top 4 participating dojos, Furia de Pantera, Cobra Kai, Miyagi-Do, and Iron Dragons, are visible. No, we know that some games were left unplayed, specifically the semi-final match between Tori and Samantha, and the Axel vs Robbie match, which was particularly interrupted. Now, I have previously leaked images that show this exact location in which we can see the tournament hall, All Valley Sports Arena. Interestingly, we can only see 4 dojo banners, the ones I mentioned, and Sekai Taikai alongside the All Valley Arena banner. So, without a doubt, the tournament is no longer being held in Barcelona. However, you will notice that the rest of the dojos will be present during these events, simply to observe how things unfold. But the question remains, how will it play out? How will Cobra Kai react to what happened, and what comes next for them? And what about the Iron Dragons? Will we see a decision on Kwon's death with Axel being labeled the perpetrator and then found innocent? What I know is that everything will be solved. In fact, I have newly leaked images of the Robbie vs Axel rematch results. You can see the points on this small leaderboard. Axel scored 11 and Robbie only scored 6, indicating that he was severely beaten up again, which is not surprising given the beast of a man he is dealing with. Actually, in the same image, I want you to look at this tournament hall. The All Valley Sports Arena is where we are, and you have proven it. I also have this image of the Sekai Taikai trophy, which is labeled Sekai Taikai Dojo Champion. Perhaps we will see more than one trophy awarded to the first and second best performers, don't you think? Now, I also have this picture that I took out of the second episode of Inside the Dojo. It shows Daniel, Amanda, and Chosen's actors chatting with a blonde woman whose face isn't visible. My guess is that she is actress Diora Baird, who plays Robbie's mother Shannon. Please keep in mind that she is listed on IMDb for Part 3 of Cobra Kai Season 6. She's been gone for so long, I think it is about time we saw her again. But, returning to the tournament, things are getting messy. I have these leaked images, and one of them shows almost the entire Miyagi-Do team dressed in Johnny's Cobra Kai uniforms. Even Daniel LaRusso is seen in one. We have seen these related images before, such as those of Johnny and Miguel, but we assumed they were a joke. But keep in mind that most of the leaks from Part 2 were accurate, so pay attention to what I am about to say. The number of images of Johnny in his Cobra Kai uniform is growing, and it is difficult to ignore the fact that he will be bringing back his Cobra Kai team. But the question is when, and the answer is during the tournament. And the proof is in this image, which was taken on stage, as you can see. Apparently, Daniel LaRusso will follow Johnny's lead this time. But how in the hell will this ever happen? How will Kreese and Kim accept this? And how is Daniel going to put on this uniform and stand there, allowing Miyagi-Do and his mentor's legacy to perish? Okay, the thing is that making the deal is all that matters. It is all about communicating, brainstorming, and coming to terms with each other. Right now, Cobra Kai's male captain is no more. Even though we saw the semi-final match between Kwon and Diego, which Kwon won, it's possible Diego could return to compete. This would allow the semi-final matches to proceed, including Robbie vs Axel and Tori vs Samantha. In the finals, the matchups could have been Tori vs Zara, following Tori's victory over Samantha, and Axel defeating Robbie to secure his place in the boys' final. Axel would then face Kwon in the ultimate showdown. However, this scenario doesn't entirely make sense because it's essential for at least one Miyagi-Do fighter to make it to the finals. With Kwon's absence, the dynamics of the tournament have shifted significantly, leaving room for unexpected outcomes that could elevate the stakes even further. So, with Kwon's death, I believe John Kreese will be deeply hurt, and Kim Da-eun will be moved to question her grandfather's ruthless ambitions. I strongly believe that Kim's budding romance with Chosen wasn't introduced without purpose. As the creators recently stated, every story in Cobra Kai has a direction. During the tournament, Tori asked Kim if sacrificing relationships for victory was worth it. Kim's initial silence and expressions showed she understood Tori's point, even if she later said absolutely. This suggests Kim might take a better path in Part 3, and her relationship with Chosen could develop further and perhaps help soften the Miyagi-Do and Cobra Kai rivalry. And as for Kreese, we saw Johnny narrowly save him before Terry Silver killed him. Terry Silver is now the only major threat to everyone, and believe it or not, he is more dangerous than ever before. I am confident Kreese will embrace the situation as it is, and we will see him and Johnny accept each other for who they truly are, with Johnny potentially offering a decision in the middle. Miguel is interested in being captain, so there could be a special arrangement in which they allow Johnny to transform a portion of Miyagi-Do into the OG Cobra Kai, with Miguel replacing Kwon as captain, and Robbie could remain as Miyagi-Do, possibly with some other kids on his side as he faces Axel in the semi-final rematch in which Axel defeats him. Then, Miguel could face Diego in the semi-finals and defeat him to secure his spot in the final, where he could fight Axel to be the last man standing and win the tournament. As for the girls' division, Zara will have to fight with Tori because we did not have many scenes of the two. But remember, Tori was supposed to face Samantha in the semi-finals. But with this arrangement, both Samantha and Tori could be on Johnny's Cobra Kai side, so Tori would be the one to face Zara. I know this all sounds crazy, but didn't you think Kwon's death was crazy when you first saw it? That was insane. If this arrangement takes place, Johnny will own the show rather than Daniel. Maybe that is it. Anything is possible now, and as Louis Tan said, Part 3 will be even crazier than Part 2. Now imagine someone from Kreese's Cobra Kai, Yoon for instance, replaces Kwon, and then meanwhile, Robbie faces off with Axel in semi-final and loses. That would put Axel in the final against Cobra Kai's Yoon, and Axel would win the tournament by knockout, so there is no doubt that introducing Miguel into this scenario could help prevent the Iron Dragons from winning, even if the arrangement comes at a cost. But I have one more image that appears to refute the claim that Daniel joined Johnny's Cobra Kai team. As you can see Daniel in his Miyagi-Do gi standing in the same hall where Sekai Taikai will take place in the All Valley. One could argue that Daniel will not change sides, but you never know. Perhaps this was before he changed his mind. The typical Daniel would never agree to abandon Miyagi-Do. But in Inside the Dojo clip, the creators of Cobra Kai recently teased more of Mr. Miyagi's mysteries in the upcoming Part 3. Apparently, Daniel will learn more about his mentor in Part 3, and who knows, this time they may change the way he does things. Another thing that will happen in Part 3 is the showdown between Sensei Wolf and Johnny. I mentioned their fight in Part 2, and it actually happened. They now have bad blood. But Wolf destroyed Johnny so badly in Part 2 that they will have to face off again. I believe Johnny will be a more confident character in Part 3 because he has nothing major to worry about, which is why Daniel will accept what he has to offer. Please let me know all of your theories and predictions because anything Cobra Kai is always amazing. Thank you for watching, keep it badass always. See you around the dojo next time.